Sage Wanderer here, and making a little bit of coffee on my solo stove here. And I thought I'd tell you a story while it's brewing about a guy named Chris. So we're going to just put the water on to get it hot on my solo stove, burning wood gas here, my wood gasifier. Little solo stove tip, or any outdoor wood fire tip: if you coat your pot, your stainless steel pot, with soap before you put it on, this soot will wash right off. Otherwise, you got to scrub and scrub. But yeah, if you put a little soap on your hand and rub it right around the bottom of the pot, all that soot will come off when you wash it. A little tip for you. So as soon as that gets hot, I'll be drinking some coffee. But you know, I've spent a great deal of my lifetime trying to help people. One could say my almost entire life I've spent trying to help people. Whether it's making people feel good through the music that I make, or whether it's my time as a minister, or my time, you know, as a person who helped people through hard times in counseling, and yes, even exorcism and deliverance. And you never know who you really helped and who you didn't. I mean, you see some successes, but most of the time I think your successes go unnoticed, or you don't have as many as you'd like. And you know, you just never know who you help along the way. And sometimes you're blessed to be able to get the opportunity to see a realization that you did help somebody. And you know, I've had a couple of those. I converted an agnostic, or an atheist. No, he was an agnostic. I converted an agnostic doctor over to Christianity and walked him through the whole process in a chat room back in the days of America Online, when we were all dialing up and on Windows 3.1 or 3.2, whatever. And but recently I had one of these opportunities to see the fruit of my labor on this channel. And I haven't been recognized a lot. Sometimes I get recognized. Usually it's by people who are viewers or fans. And but I got recognized recently in a local shop. Well, anyway, this individual recognized me and started talking to me, and he was like, "Wow, I watch your channel, and I need you to know something." He said, "I was an atheist. I was almost like a Satanist. You know, I went back and forth to not believing in any of it to going over to the dark side." And he said, "I saw your video, A True Crossroad Story, or Sell My Soul, My True Crossroad Story." And he said, "When I saw your sincerity and the things that you said," he said, "it really, really turned a light on for me." This is what this guy is telling me that I just ran into, this guy named Chris. You know, he's just like, he's a young guy, probably, I would say in his mid-20s. If you saw him on the street, you might think he was, you know, a hipster or an Antifa type, you know, because he looks like all the rest of that age of people around here these days. And, but, you know, he said that my story, the sincerity with which I told it, you know, the realization that evil is real. I think that's the thing that really moved him, was that he was looking for something real, and he saw a real encounter with the demonic. You know, I definitely believe that individual that represented, you have to go back and see that video if you haven't, My True Crossroad Story, but, you know, that person that came to me to represent the music business, I really feel to this day that he was some kind of demonic presence. I will get into that maybe sometime on another video, but I think, you know, the realness of that experience and the way I conveyed it shined a light on the darkness. And when you see the darkness, I mean, we hear about in the Bible all these references to shining your light, you know, and don't hide your light under a bushel. But what are you shining your light on? You're not shining your light on other light. Light is most brilliant when it's shined in the darkness. So I shined a light on the demonic, on the evil, on the Illuminati. I shined a light on the darkness for this guy. And in recognizing the darkness, it drove him towards the light. That's the thing that you guys got to remember, is that it isn't just about introducing people to Jesus, because, you know, it's about shining the light of the truth of the gospel to illuminate the darkness. And so you shine that light right on the darkness. You shine that light, not on the peripheral. You don't put your light over with all the other lights. You put your light up on a dark hilltop and you shine it into the darkness, into the darkness of the valley. And, you know, I just had one of those rare experiences where I got to, you know, tell my story and give my testimony and then see a direct effect to someone, to this young man who told me, he said, I've converted to Christianity. And now I believe in God, and I believe in angels, and I believe in the light. And it's because of your videos that it was your testimony that shined the light for me and drew me to Christ. And I mean, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying it's good because, you know, you work and you spread the gospel of peace and you reach out and you try to help people and you try to do good deeds and do good works. But you never know whether your seed, you know, like that parable, is being cast into good soil or whether it's going, you know, onto the sidewalk with no hope of ever sprouting and producing anything. And, you know, it's just nice to see that seed take root. You know, I probably didn't intentionally seek that guy out to sow that seed. I was just telling my story, sharing my experience. And, you know, it helped lead him to Christ. The Holy Spirit used that moment to woo him. And so, you know, for me, that is... Oh, let my fire go out. Uh-oh. Better not let your fire go out. There's a parable there somewhere. We'll stoke it back up. Forgot to feed the fire. That's the thing about the solo stove. You got to feed it. There's a sermon in there somewhere about feeding your fire. But as you can see, my water is hot. And I'm ready for my coffee. So, yeah, it's nice when you're a light worker, when you're doing the work of goodness, and you have an opportunity to really see the fruit, and you see it pop up. And I mean, I wasn't even expecting that, just to be recognized out of the clear blue sky and told I had an influence on them. I'm humbled and amazed by it. But, you know, in the Old Testament, God spoke through a donkey. Why wouldn't he use a jackass like me? See you next time. Oh, I make coffee. You got to see me pour the coffee. Then I'll turn it off. It's water, but it's going to be coffee as soon as that steeps. All right, talk to you next time.